I think a lot of people confuse attraction with compatibility for way longer than they should. You can really like somebody and still slowly realize that they are terrible for you and your nervous system. I'm not talking about really obvious stuff like clear abuse, clear gaslighting. Sometimes it's just smaller patterns that wear you down over time. Maybe they disappear every time there's conflict, and maybe they lie about little things constantly, or you never fully relax around them because you're always trying to manage their moods, stuff like that. Attraction can make people tolerate situations that they would never recommend that a friend tolerate. And that's why I think deal breakers do matter more than your type. Your type is usually based on chemistry, looks, whatever, but your deal breakers are usually based on your experience. Most people don't actually know they're deal breakers until they've dated enough to learn them and learn what actually hurts them, and see patterns. And the interesting thing is deal breakers do change as you get older. At 22, someone being emotionally unavailable might have even felt exciting and mysterious. But, at 35, it just felt exhausting and it stopped being cool. So I think, you do start paying attention to how somebody makes your body feel day to day. Do they make you feel calm, anxious, desired, ignored, safe, or unsafe? It really, really matters. Research on relationships consistently finds that people tend to end things over repeated dishonesty, emotional instability, controlling behavior, addiction issues, incompatible values. But in real life, people don't leave because of one giant dramatic moment typically, right? It's often an accumulation of small moments. It's like, I don't like who I am in this relationship, or I think people stay too long because they keep asking things like, can I handle this? Or or they see what someone could be like if only they would, work on it, or whatever it may be. But it's important to ask yourself, do I want these things in my life? I'm curious to know what your relationship deal breakers are. Maybe even things that you would have tolerated 5 or 10 years ago. What have you learned the hard way? I think me personally, I've noticed that being a generally happy person is really, really important to me. And that doesn't mean that somebody's not gonna have bad days or whatever, but just overall being somebody that's a pretty happy person or an optimistic person, who I think that when I was younger wouldn't have necessarily mattered, but growing older, that has definitely, I see how important that is for me in my life. Tell me yours.